Chosen one, something is shifting. Tonight is not an ordinary night. Tonight, heaven opens, and God is calling you. If you are listening to this right now, know this. This is not a coincidence. God has arranged this exact moment for you to hear His voice. There is a sacred appointment waiting for you at 3 a.m. This is your divine invitation, your moment of breakthrough, your opportunity to step into something greater than you have ever known. But the question is, will you be awake? Will you answer? While the rest of the world sleeps, something powerful is happening in the spirit. You may have felt it before. Those restless nights, those sudden awakenings at the same hour, as if something unseen was stirring deep within you. That was not just a random event. That was God calling you. That was heaven trying to get your attention. The stillness of the night is where divine encounters happen. It is the moment when the veil between the seen and unseen is at its thinnest, when God speaks in ways you never imagined. This night has been chosen. You have been chosen. At exactly 3 a.m., the heavens will whisper. God's voice will call. But only the ones who are truly awake, spiritually and physically, will receive what He is revealing. You have prayed for answers. You have cried out for breakthrough. You have longed for clarity, for direction, for a sign. This is it. This is the moment you have been waiting for. But not everyone will understand. Not everyone will listen. Many will dismiss this as just another message, just another night, just another passing thought. But you know better, because something deep inside you is stirring right now. Your spirit is already responding, already awakening, already preparing for what is about to unfold. And so I ask you, will you stay awake? Will you sacrifice one night of sleep for a lifetime of revelation? Will you trade a few hours of comfort for an encounter that will change everything? God has spoken. Tonight is sacred, and He is calling your name. Do not ignore this. Do not delay. Stay awake, because at 3 a.m., God will reveal everything. There comes a moment in every believer's life when God calls them to a deeper place, a moment when He no longer speaks through whispers, but with a thunderous revelation that cannot be ignored. Tonight is that moment for you. At exactly 3 a.m., something supernatural will take place. The veil between the physical and the spiritual will be lifted, and those who are awake, truly awake in both body and spirit, will receive something extraordinary. You have felt it for a long time, haven't you? The restlessness, the late-night awakenings, the sense that something is shifting, something is coming, something is about to be revealed. That is not your imagination. That is your spirit responding to God's call. Throughout history, God has moved in the quietest hours of the night. When the world is still, when distractions fade away, He speaks to those who are truly listening. This is not a message for everyone. Many will sleep through it. Many will dismiss it. Many will miss the divine appointment that has been set for them. But you are not like them. You have been chosen, hand-picked by God for something greater. Your life is not ordinary because your calling is not ordinary. At 3 a.m., God is not just waking you up. He is opening your eyes. You have been praying for clarity. He will give it to you. You have been crying out for breakthrough. It is coming. You have been searching for purpose. It will be revealed, but only if you are awake. God does not force His revelations on those who are not ready. He calls, and He waits. He gives signs, and He watches. He reaches out, but only those who respond will receive. The third hour of the morning is sacred. the fourth watch, the time when heaven and earth align in a way that is unlike any other. It was during this time that Jesus walked on water, breaking the laws of the natural world and demonstrating the limitless power of faith. It was during this time that angels have visited the faithful, whispering messages of destiny and purpose. And now, it is your time. But the enemy knows this too. That is why, in these same hours, the forces of darkness also move. That is why you have felt heaviness, confusion, or even oppression when you wake up in the middle of the night. Because the enemy wants to keep you asleep. Because he knows that if you wake up and step into what God has for you, nothing will ever be the same again. Are you ready to receive what God has been waiting to show you? Will you answer his call? Because at 3 a.m., God will reveal everything, but only to those who are truly awake. There is a reason why 3 a.m. is unlike any other hour. A reason why, throughout history, this time has been marked by divine encounters, supernatural breakthroughs, and heavenly visitations. In the stillness of the night, when the world is quiet, heaven moves. Think about it. Why do you wake up at this hour, seemingly without reason? Why does your spirit feel uneasy? Why do your dreams seem more vivid? Why does the silence feel charged with something unseen? Because this is the hour when God speaks. From the very beginning, God has used the early morning watches to bring revelation, to open the heavens, and to call his chosen ones into deeper purpose. This is not just a random moment of wakefulness. This is an invitation. In the Bible, this hour was sacred. It was during the fourth watch of the night, somewhere between 3 o'clock and 6 a.m., that Jesus walked on water. His disciples were terrified, caught in a storm, believing they were about to be destroyed. But in their darkest hour, he appeared. He came, not in the way they expected, not in a place of comfort, but in the impossible. And what did he say? Take courage. It is I. Do not be afraid. This is what God is saying to you now. You are caught in a storm of uncertainty, waiting for answers, desperate for breakthrough. You have cried out, asking God to show you the way. And now, he is coming. At 3 a.m., he is stepping into your situation, calling you to walk on water, to trust him like never before. But there's something else about this hour. The enemy fears it. This is why the forces of darkness are most active at this time, because they know it is the moment when heaven moves. Have you ever noticed that your greatest spiritual attacks come in the night? The heaviness, the anxiety, the fear, the confusion. It is not just in your mind. It is warfare. Because the enemy knows that if you wake up and respond to God's call, something in your life will shift forever. That is why you must stay awake. That is why you must be ready. Because this is not an ordinary night. God has set this moment apart for you, to reveal what has been hidden, to speak what has been silenced, to answer what has been left unanswered. But only if you will meet him in this hour. Are you ready? Will you stay awake? Because 3 a.m. is coming, and when it does, everything will change. There is something powerful about the quiet hours of the night. When the world is asleep, when distractions have faded, when everything seems still, that is when God speaks the loudest. Many people believe that spiritual encounters happen during great revivals, in crowded churches, or through grand, miraculous signs. But the truth is, God often reveals himself in the moments when no one else is watching. And one of those moments is at 3 a.m. This is why you have been waking up. This is why your spirit feels unsettled. This is why you feel something shifting in the atmosphere. Because God is calling you to wake up, not just physically, but spiritually. You may have noticed it before. Waking up in the middle of the night, heart pounding, feeling an unexplainable pull deep in your soul, looking at the clock and seeing the same numbers over and over again. It's not a coincidence. It's a divine appointment. Because the fourth watch of the night, from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m., is a time of supernatural activity, a time when spiritual battles are being fought, a time when destinies are being shaped, a time when heaven moves in ways the world cannot see. Think about it. Why do so many people experience deep spiritual warfare at night? Why do attacks of fear, doubt, and heaviness often come in the midnight hours? Why do you sometimes wake up feeling burdened, as if something unseen is pressing against you? Because the enemy knows what happens in these sacred hours. He knows that 3 a.m. is the hour of divine revelation. This is why the forces of darkness work overtime to keep you asleep, to keep you distracted, to keep you spiritually numb. Because if you wake up, if you truly wake up, you will receive something that will change your life forever. And God is calling you to do just that. Just as He called Samuel in the night, whispering his name until he finally answered, "Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening." Just as He came to Jacob in a dream, revealing a vision of angels ascending and descending on a heavenly staircase, declaring, "Surely the Lord is in this place, and I did not know it." Just as He called Gideon out of hiding in the darkness to tell him, "Mighty warrior, the Lord is with you." Now He is calling you, and the question is, will you answer? Because this moment is not random. This night is not ordinary. 3 a.m. is coming, and God is about to reveal everything. But He will not force you to stay awake. He will not drag you into His presence. He is waiting, watching, calling, and the ones who rise, the ones who seek Him, the ones who stay awake, they will receive the mysteries of heaven. There are things God has been waiting to show you, answers you have been crying out for, a revelation that will unlock your next season. But it requires something from you. It requires obedience. It requires you to say, "Lord, I am here. I am awake. Speak to me." Because in this hour, heaven is leaning in. The angels are listening. The atmosphere is shifting. And if you are awake, God will reveal what has been hidden. Something powerful is coming. You can feel it in your spirit. You have sensed it in the atmosphere. This is not just another night. This is a night of transformation, a night of divine revelation, a night where everything changes. At 3 a.m., the heavens will open, and those who are awake will receive something supernatural. But the question remains, will you be ready? For too long, you have been waiting for a breakthrough. You have prayed, you have cried out, you have asked God for a sign, for a moment of clarity, for an answer to the questions that have been weighing on your heart. And now, God is saying, stay awake, because your moment is here. This is the hour of revelation. Throughout history, God has used this sacred time to shift destinies, to speak secrets, to open doors that no man can shut. This is the hour where chains are broken. This is the hour where Joseph received dreams that would change the course of history. This is the hour where Paul and Silas, locked in prison, worshipped until the earth shook, the chains fell off, and the doors of their captivity swung open. This is the hour of divine encounters. This is the hour when angels visited Daniel, giving him visions of the future. This is the hour when Peter, locked in a cell, was freed by an angel of the Lord, walking past guards who never even saw him leave. And now, this is the hour where God is calling you. He is ready to reveal things to you that have been hidden. He is ready to speak to you in a way you have never experienced before, but only if you are awake. The enemy knows this. That is why he will do everything to keep you distracted, to make you weary, to convince you that sleep is more important than obedience. He does not want you to receive what God is about to give you, because he knows that the moment you wake up, the moment you step into this sacred hour, your life will never be the same again. This is the moment where battles are won, where spiritual forces collide, where darkness trembles, because the chosen ones are rising. You have been chosen for this moment. You have not been called to live like everyone else. You are not meant to stay asleep when God is calling you into something greater. Tonight is sacred. This is not a night for distractions. This is not a night for scrolling mindlessly through your phone. This is not a night for meaningless conversations. This is a night to meet with God, a night to stand before Him with open hands and an open heart, a night to say, "Lord, I am awake. Speak to me," because when you do, everything will change. You will feel the weight that has been pressing down on your spirit lift. You will hear the voice of God speak into your situation. You will receive the revelation you have been seeking, and nothing will be the same again. So what will you do? Will you ignore this call and sleep through your breakthrough? Or will you rise, shake off the heaviness, and step into the greatest encounter of your life? The choice is yours. But know this, 3 a.m. is coming, and when it does, God will reveal everything. He is waiting to speak to you, to reveal His mysteries, to show you what has been hidden from the world. But only the awake will hear Him. You may feel the pull to close your eyes, to drift back into sleep, to say, "Maybe another night." But tonight is sacred. What if this is the night everything changes? What if this is the night where the prayer you have been crying out for is finally answered? What if this is the night where the chains that have bound you for years finally break? What if this is the night where you step into the revelation, the calling, the divine purpose that God has been waiting to pour into you? Because when God moves, He does not wait for your convenience. He calls, and if you are ready, He will give you what you have been seeking. Think of all the moments in Scripture where everything shifted in the night, when the faithful stayed awake while the rest of the world slept. Moses met with God on the mountain, while the people below stayed distracted. Samuel heard God's voice in the darkness, while others remained silent. Jesus prayed in the garden, while even His disciples could not keep their eyes open. There is always a choice. Stay asleep and miss it, or stay awake and receive it. There is something about these early morning hours, a time when God calls the chosen ones, the set apart, the ones who are willing to seek Him when no one else will. And when you step into this moment, you are stepping into the same divine current that has carried the faithful for generations. It is not about a routine. It is not about tradition. It is about obedience. God does not reveal His greatest secrets to those who casually seek Him when it is convenient. He reveals them to those who are willing to sacrifice, to press in, to answer when He calls. And He is calling you. The enemy will try to stop you. You may feel heaviness as the hour approaches. You may feel exhausted, suddenly distracted, suddenly tempted to forget what you have just heard. That is not by accident, because the forces of darkness know what happens when the chosen ones wake up. They know that if you rise, if you listen, if you press into God in this sacred hour, something will break in the spirit. The battle you have been fighting will shift. The burden you have been carrying will lift. The voice of God will become clearer than it has ever been before, and you will never be the same again. So, I ask you, what will you do? Because 3 a.m. is coming, and in that hour, God will reveal everything, but only to those who are awake. This is it. Everything has led to this moment. You are not here by accident. You are not hearing this message by chance. This is divine timing. Because right now, as the world sleeps, as the noise of the day fades away, God is calling you into something deeper. Will you listen? This is more than just a moment. This is a test, a spiritual test of obedience, of faith, of hunger for more. You have asked God for breakthrough. You have asked Him for clarity. You have prayed for a sign. And now He is answering. 3 a.m. is approaching. And the question is, will you be awake? Will you answer His call? Because make no mistake, the enemy will try to stop you. He will bring every excuse. He will make you feel tired, distracted, doubtful. He will whisper in your mind, you can do it another night. But what if another night never comes? What if this is the night where your entire destiny shifts? What if this is the moment God has set apart just for you? In the Bible, God always spoke in moments of stillness. Moses heard Him in the wilderness. Elijah met Him in a whisper. Samuel was called in the night. Paul and Silas experienced deliverance at midnight. And now, it is your time. You are about to enter the most sacred window of the night. You are about to stand in a moment where heaven opens, and God speaks to the chosen ones. But only those who are ready will receive. God is not speaking to the crowds in this hour. He is speaking to the few, the set apart, the obedient, the ones who are hungry for more, the ones who will not let comfort keep them from their calling. Is that you? Because you have two choices. You can stay asleep, letting this moment pass, letting the enemy steal your revelation, choosing comfort over destiny. Or you can rise. You can step into your purpose. You can sacrifice one night of sleep for a lifetime of clarity. You can show God that you are serious, that you are ready, that you are willing to obey. This is the moment of decision. This is the moment where everything changes. At 3 a.m., you will have a choice. Will you roll over, close your eyes, and miss it? Or will you stand up, step into the presence of God, and receive the breakthrough you have been waiting for? Do not miss this. You have been called. You have been chosen. You have been prepared for this moment. God is speaking. 3 a.m. is coming. And when it does, He will reveal everything, but only to those who are awake. Chosen one, you are standing at the threshold of something greater. This night has been set apart. This moment has been divinely arranged. Everything that has led you here, the restless nights, the unanswered questions, the deep longing in your spirit, it has all been preparing you for this. And now, God is waiting. Waiting to speak, waiting to reveal, waiting to bring you into a new level of understanding, power, and purpose. At 3 a.m., heaven will open. The veil between the natural and the supernatural will be at its thinnest. Those who are awake, truly awake in body and spirit, will hear the voice of God like never before. This is not the end of your journey. This is the beginning, because when you step into this hour, when you seek God with all your heart, You will not leave the same. Doors will open. Prayers will be answered. Destinies will be revealed. But only for those who are willing to press in. Some will stay asleep. Some will ignore the call. Some will let fear, distraction, or doubt hold them back. But not you, because you are chosen. And the chosen ones always answer when God calls. You may not fully understand what is coming next. You may not have all the answers yet. But God does. And tonight, He is ready to show you everything. Will you be awake? Will you be listening? Because 3 a.m. is coming. And when it does, your life will never be the same again. If this message is stirring something inside you, let me know in the comments. Have you ever woken up at 3 a.m. and felt something different in the atmosphere? Have you ever sensed that God was trying to get your attention? This is not a coincidence. Share your experience below. Let's stand together as the chosen ones who are ready to answer God's call. And if this message has spoken to you, hit the like button and subscribe, because this is just the beginning. Your journey is only getting started.